y'all know what time it is, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're rocking with the Tag Champs podcast. Yeah. My boy Corey, the Beige Bomber, the Petty Messiah, all the AKAs you want. He is not with us today, but guess what, man? I got my boy Mikey Manslaughter Facts and Zello Smoke. We doing the Freebird rule today. Yeah. And today on the Tag Champs podcast, we have a special guest. I want y'all to give it up for my man, my boy, Mikey. Go ahead and get them accolades out there for what he done. What he done?
First off, man, we just gotta say it like this, man. He is a former Hurricane Pro Heavyweight Champion, Inspire Pro Heavyweight Champion, Reality of Wrestling Texas and Television Champion, and a former New Texas Pro Tag Team Champion. He's been in Reality of Wrestling, New Texas Pro, Inspire Pro, Lion Pride Sports, Hurricane Pro. Hey, man, we got Terrale Tempo in the building. Yeah.
Tempo. First off, thank y'all for having me on. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Been seeing what y'all been doing here. Great stuff. I'm a supporter. I'm a fan. Keep it up.
Oh, man. Appreciate
that.
Thank you.
So, I'm going to start this show off. I'm not going to say how you got into business, but we just going to do like this. You started in 2013. Before 2013, how did we get to 2013 and when you started off?
Oh, man. So, watching professional wrestling my whole life. My first memory is my older sister watching me, and I was young, you know what I mean? But I remember she was watching wrestling. So my brothers and sisters were big fans of professional wrestling, and it just led to me being a fan. But, you know, I took it probably seriously the most out of everybody, became the biggest fan. And I knew what I wanted to do at, excuse me, I knew what I wanted to do at 14. So when I was like 14, I was like, okay, I got to make a plan. I got to see where I want to go. I got to see who I want to get trained by. So I started working out even harder. I wasn't even going to play football because I didn't care about nothing but wrestling. I didn't care nothing but my brothers was like, oh, you ain't going to play football? You ain't going to play football? And I was like, I don't care. But they was like, yo, Goldberg played football. The Rock played football. So I was like, all right. So I played football 7th and 8th grade, and then I hated running, man. I'm slow black man. You know what I mean? You don't see that too much.
Where they find them at?
Go to my 214 Maple Street, Loveland, Texas, where I was at. That was me. But I ran track anyway, just to become a better athlete. Because I would see guys like your Kurt Angle, your Shelton Benjamin. You know, the better athlete you are, you take onto this sport quickly. Not everybody, but that's rule of thumb. So I did track, I did powerlifting, I did football, and then I would stay lifting weights since 9th grade. People would be like, man, go home. I'm like, no, I'm good. I know where I'm going. I got a mission. So I did that, and then I graduated. I went to college. There's a junior college in my hometown, and it just wasn't for me, man. College isn't for everybody, and I wasn't taking it seriously enough. So I got the financial aid money, and I was like, do I want to go back to college, or do I want to save this financial aid money and pay for wrestling school? So that's what I ended up doing. You know, my mom was mad at me because she wanted a new carpet at the time. But I was like, hey, I got to do this for me, Mom. Yeah. She got over it. She happy now. She see where it all is. Then I moved to Dallas to kind of get out the house. And I moved to San Antonio I moved to Dallas. Then I moved to Austin with my brother. So I moved to Dallas with my sister to get out, to kind of see what it would be like living without your parents there, without that crutch, without knowing anybody. You know, I'm still working out. I'm still just trying to find myself. Then I go to Austin with my brother. My brother's a big dude. He's a bodybuilder. He lifts weights. So I lived with him for a little bit, kind of took some knowledge from him. And then at the time, I was planning on coming to Houston to Booker T's wrestling school. But I was working in Austin, and we were opening up a store in San Antonio where I worked at. And it was either out of Austin or Texas Wrestling Academy. So it was either one of those two in San Antonio. So the store I was working at was opening up a store in San Antonio, and it was 20 minutes away from the wrestling school. And I was like, if I don't do this now, I don't want to do it. So it just lined up that way. So it ended up being perfect. But, so I ended up going to Texas Wrestling Academy under Rudy Boy Gonzalez, and then 2013 when it all started.
Okay. That's what's up.
The jump off.
So one match that I actually looked at in particular was you versus Gino. Yeah. How was that?
So that was crazy because reality wrestling, they shoot you know how I don't know if you've ever been there, but they can shoot multiple episodes at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So y'all been there.
Yeah,
before.
Oh yeah, we've been there. We
Been
watched it
several
plenty of times.
So how I got into reality, it was a bunch of like talking to people. Gino would come down and do shows where I was at, and then I was like, "Yo, man, I'm ready." He was like, "Well, come on." And so one day, Oz hit me up, right? And I'm sorry, Aiden Cristiano hit me up. Let me do that. My bad, big dog. My bad.
I kind of do.
For those who know,
because I have to.
yeah,
My fault.
okay,
I'm just dropping. I'm dropping too much knowledge over here. But Aiden Cristiano hit me up. I was cool at with WWE tryouts. I had met Kiefer Bartek, Q, and Rex Andrews, and this was just doing extra talent for WWE. It wasn't like a tryout, but doing extra talent, I met those guys, and then I had met JJ Blake. We did a show together in Waco. The first time we ever wrestled each other, and the chemistry was just there, right? I'm a babyface. I'm like very clean babyface. You ain't gonna see, they'll say like something like they used to call like a white hot babyface. You know what I mean? Like just very pure, clean, no tweener stuff, nothing with me. I'm straight babyface. So when I find a heel that's just a straight heel, it's gonna go together magically. Yeah. Even if the chemistry isn't there, the story is already there. You don't have to look for it because it's already been told with good guy, bad guy. You know what I mean? But so me and JJ had chemistry right away. Me and Kiefer got real cool at that WWE tryout because he grew up in Abilene. I grew up in Loveland. 806 area codes. We're pretty super close together. Yeah. So they were trying to get me in. It was just a bunch of. But then Aiden Christian hit me up and goes, "Hey, there's a spot open. Come out here." I was like, "Bet." So I drove up there. Okay. And then I met Kevin. Y'all know Kevin?
Yeah, okay.
So I met Kevin for the first time, and he was like, "Oh no, somebody took that spot." And I was like, "Well, cool. Can I stay and watch the show anyway?" He was like, "Yeah." So I knew JJ, I knew Q, so I knew all these people. So they started putting the word for me, and they was like, "You know what? We'll bring you in next month." Kiefer pushed them to bring me in a lot too. So they was like, "We'll bring you in next month, and then we'll go from there." I was like, "All right." And then I went there next month, and Booker wasn't there. So I was like, "Oh damn, Booker's not there." But Bruce Pritchard was there. You know what I mean? He'll show up every once in a while. You know what I mean? But so he was the agent that he was running the show that night, and I ended up facing Shawn Hendricks first to get me on television. Hey, this new talent. And then the next match was Gino. So that night I wrestled 2 matches. Okay. And me and Gino clicked for the first time, and it was a really good match. And yeah, that's how I kind of started. And once I got that, Booker was like, "Hey, I want you back." And crazy, I'll tell a quick story. Because when I said I was either going to go to Booker School or San Antonio, Texas Wrestling Academy, I had called Booker. I called the website, like, "Hey," to try to find out the Wrestling Association. And Booker picked up, and I didn't think it was going to be Booker on the phone. So I was just like, well, I was like, he was like, "Man, you good? What's up, bro?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to see when you're starting." He goes, "This is the classes, this and that. And then you just come check us out this day. We open this." I'm like, "All right, cool." This is time I'm still in Dallas. I haven't moved to Austin yet. So I'm like, "Oh, like, it's right there." I just talked to the man, and it was Booker. I thought it would be somebody assistant or whatever. Yeah. Turn around, it had to be like 5 or 6 years later. I did that match, and then I left. And then he calls me. I had a missed call from Booker on my phone. And I was like, "Oh." So I called him back. Yeah. And he called me back. He was, "Hey, man, I want you a part of reality wrestling. You need to come down here. I need to get in the ring with you, show you some stuff. But I want you to be a part of our crew. Is that possible?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." So I went down, trained with him a little bit. Me, him, and Gino was in the ring. He was kind of showing me some stuff that I didn't know about TV. Because it's different. When you're wrestling on a live show and then when it's recorded for TV, it's a big difference. So Booker kind of like honed me in and showed me the craft of the television and showed me how to do it. Hey, you want to do this, you want to do this. The moves you're doing is right, but you need to do it towards here because hard camera facing this way. Just small stuff, but very, very, very gems you need to know. But so it was crazy because I had called Booker, and then 5 years later he called me. I just think that's a wild story.
That is wild. So the reason why he was laughing just now inside, so everybody does Booker T's voice the exact same. And I knew that's why you were laughing. I knew that's why you were laughing.
Yeah. No, yeah, you got to. There's no other way to do Booker because you can't say it in just like a normal passing voice because it won't hit. Yeah, and then people would. And if a normal person said that, it's not. It doesn't have that validity. You know what I mean? Like, book is book, man.
Come on, kid. You know what you got to do. You got to get up in there. You got to show what you is. Come on. You already know what's going on.
Yo, one time we had a fatal 4-way match, and they did the 360 camera. So this was the first. It was me, Mysterious Q, Brian Keith, Rex Andrews.
Oh, okay.
And they made a big deal about this match, man. It's like, yo, it's a 360 camera. It's going to be hanging from the ceiling, so it's going to catch you at all angles. And it's still out there if you look it up. It was pretty dope. But the thing is they kept lowering it, you know. And there's like, yo, and Booker's telling us, y'all don't touch that camera. Don't touch that camera. You know what I mean? Like, nobody touch the camera. And then so the guys are in the ring putting it together, and then they'll look, it's like, lower it. And every time it go lower, we like, all four of us like, come on, man. What we going to do?
That's more work to do.
Yeah, because then they asked Booker, the people producing the show, they asked him, they go, hey, what if one of them like hits the camera? And Book was like, no, that ain't going to happen. If any of them touch the camera, get your ass out the ring, eliminate yourself, get your shit, and go home. So not only are we doing the match, but now we got to worry about not hitting this camera. But it made it challenging. But it was a good match. It was a great time, though, man.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Man, just talking about that, man, speak about a little bit of just like how being over there at Road Nation, the preparation for getting you ready for like TV, man, versus how it is from, regularly working on the indie scene.
TV is way more complex. It is and it isn't at the same time, but so you're not going to have as much time because when you're on a regular, we'll just say a live event show, you kind of, they give you a time limit, but you know what I mean? Like it's like, all right, it's a little bit more free and you have time to kind of play with the crowd, listen to them a little bit more, correct it a little bit, kind of feel it out, gauge it. With TV, you on time. You know what I mean? And that's time is money. So you can't just be going out there and going overtime. Because if I go overtime, then the next person either got to cut their match or they got to cut a segment. And what if the next segment was meant to be part of the main event segment on the next show? So it's very, very delicate in the time how you have to do it. But also with that being said is you need to know how to get enough out of the live crowd, but you also got to remember that a TV crowd is going to be watching. So you need to know how to do both. And some people aren't good at both. Because sometimes you got to know, okay, I need to look at this camera. I need to make sure I'm right here for this. How are they going to view it looking at me on camera? Sometimes you got to kind of worry about more because every time when you're shooting for TV, sometimes it's not for the live crowd. And I don't mean that in the disrespectful way. Yeah. You got to go out there and you still put on the show and you do it. But sometimes certain angles, certain things are for TV. Yeah. And sometimes that's why if you be in that building for a long time, a crowd could kind of be silent because they've watched so much wrestling. But you're not playing to them all the time. You got to play to the TV because the person who watched you on TV wasn't there live in the audience. That's their first match they watching that day. And that's the big thing with TV. I'm real big on me personally. I like hitting my times. Yeah. I think that kind of shows how professional you are, and if you can get everything in that you're supposed to get in, it just makes you look better. I'm known for being like, they're like, y'all got 15 minutes. And I'll be like, I'll make it 12. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? And then later on in the night, it comes back to help the main event or it comes back to, and then it's good thing. I think guys should really take that lesson and learn how to do it because why wouldn't anybody want to use you on the show? Yeah. They know you can give them a good match. They know you can give them what they ask for, and they know you can get out on time.
So you're really the ring general at whenever you are working somebody. For the most part,
I mean, it's you don't want to come and say like I am the ring general.
It's something that doesn't need to be said, but it's known.
Yeah. Right. I think if you were to ask most people that they would say yeah. And plus, I've been in the game for 10 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're veterans now. As crazy as that sounds, we're vets. So a lot of people don't have that skill yet because they don't have that experience. Yeah. And then some people are just better at certain aspects of the business than other people. I pick up on that. That was one of my special traits that I picked up on was knowing how to time and ring manage. That's something I really focus on. But I was just kind of naturally a little bit good at it, and then I was able to pick up on it through just experience and studying it.
Okay. When since we talking about Roll, when you got the call of them putting the Texas belt on you and the television belt, like what did that mean for you?
The television belt, it was big because at the time they just introduced the Texas belt, And Rex was on a hot run. He had a hot streak going.
Yeah.
He was undefeated.
Yes.
And he was doing, promos was killing it, matches was killing it. So for me to even be in that, how it happened was me and Rex did the rivalry. And I came in and I beat Rex. Rex was unbeaten, I think, on TV for like, I don't want to give some crazy number, but it was a long time. He was unbeaten, hadn't been beat on TV. And I came in and I beat him. And then so we did the rematch at Christmas Chaos for the Texas championship. And no, for the television championship. And what happened is I ended up losing that match that night, but then Booker rewarded him with the Texas championship. So the television championship went vacated in a battle royal. And so Booker was out there cutting. He was like, and I know somebody who deserves to be in that battle royal, and it's that man right there, Tempo. You don't see all this on TV because, once again, some stuff is just for the live crowd. Some stuff on TV.
Yeah.
But when that was happening, I was like, oh, that was cool because it was one of the main champions on the show. At the time, you could argue Rex was having a better run and more popular than the heavyweight champion at the time.
Yeah, you can definitely argue that.
That would be an arguable. So I was in the mix of that. So that was cool, and then I got my first run with it. The Texas Championship, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that was happening. I didn't even expect that to happen until day of. So it was just like, all right, like, and sometimes things happen out of people getting injured, or you just kind of got to go with the flow with the live crowd. So it happened unknowingly to me, but it was there and it happened. And anytime I get a chance to hold a championship, I take pride in that because that's somebody telling you that, hey, we take you seriously. Yeah. You're doing things right. Yeah. You can get the job done that we need to get done. So in our business, it all depends on how you look at championships, but I look at them more as them kind of telling you like, hey, you're doing the right thing. Only certain people hold this belt, and we like your work. We're proud of what you're producing.
See, like, you might agree with me on this. But Rex reminded me of. To me, he was the Bryan Danielson of Raw.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, he was the.
Yeah.
I'm talking about being a technical
precision technician.
Yeah, he was a technician, right? He was a very great technical wrestler, and I felt like, to me, he was the Bryan Danielson.
I think he was Bryan Danielson, but with a little bit more of an edge, like with a little bit more. And I'm not saying he was better than. I'm thinking he was in that light, but he had some brawling with him.
Yes, for sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Which Daniel Bryan brings it with more kicks and stuff. Rex was more like forearms and punches with it. So just a little bit of opposite. But he was one of the people that I really go back and I look at that feud and I'm happy with it because we had great chemistry too. And it was one of those things where having great chemistry is because the type of babyface that I am, Rex was a respected heel. Rex wasn't like a cowardly heel. Yeah. He was like a very much respected, and people, believed in him. And he produced what people believed in him. He gave them rough matches. He was technical. It was serious. It was nasty at points. Like him and BK would just brutalize each other, and he was
troubling.
Yeah, it was like that. So, but we just clicked, man. We got together and we had 3 matches and a couple of more outside, but it was for sure.
Speaking of a BK, you faced BK, you tagged against BK. How was that whole experience and seeing what he's become and what he's doing now?
Man, it's great. It didn't surprise. I think few people were surprised that BK became this BK, right? Yeah. But to us, he's always been this BK. He's always had that energy and that anger and the chip on his shoulder. But teaming with BK, man, and wrestling BK he's rough, man. You gonna feel it. I like going in there with guys who are more physical in the sense, you know what I mean, when it comes to the punches, when it comes to the slams, because you can, we can. Everybody can experience it. Yeah. You get hit hard, everybody in the front row, everybody experiences it. It's a tough night at work, but everybody like, damn, that's what. And it kind of changes people's mind when they go to the show for the first time, because some people go to the show for the first time and they'll be, y'all hit each other like that? I didn't. I'm like, come on, man. What you think this is? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it gains respect from everybody else who comes in. But, BK. And then New Texas was started up between me, Kiefer, and Max Heights. Y'all know this, though,
Yeah,
right?
we
Y'all know
know
this.
this.
So we built it up, and we had a few people on the radar. Like, man, these are the people we want to spotlight. JJ Blake, Mysterious Q, and BK was one. But BK at the time was working a lot of other places. But BK kind of came on a little bit later on when they were doing the shows in San Antonio too, and he just kind of had this I don't know, man, kind of like just this anger that he wasn't been the BK that he knew he was. But before I left, man, before I went to California, I told BK, I said, show him who you are, man. Show him what you do. You know what I mean? Show him what you're capable of, because they don't know. Show them. And then little by little, Kiefer would talk to me, hey, man, I think BK the guy. I seen him switch up. He became totally different. He became the bounty hunter, not the cowboy. Yeah. And he was the bounty hunter before, but now he's the bounty hunter. Yeah. You know, so seeing BK going to where he's going to now, I think he just announced he's going to Japan.
Japan, yeah.
And for him, that's great. I brought him down to a California show that we did, because one of the champions up there, his name was Nathan Brick. He was like, man, I want to wrestle BK. Like, I really do. It'd be a great match. I was like, all right. So I reached out to BK, and I was like, hey, man, how much your fee, dog? Let me try to.
Let me try to get you.
He said, for tempo, I got you. I'll help you out a little bit. So, so he kind of, it was a favor for me, you know, to go down there and wrestle one of my good friends, but who's a good wrestler too. They killed it.
Was that West Coast?
Yeah, West Coast.
Yeah.
No, not West Coast. It was WCWF.
Okay. I was trying to figure out which one it was.
Yeah, it was WCWF. Yeah.
Speaking of which, man, you'd have had an amazing pedigree. You'd have wrestled and tagged with so many people. You have been in the ring with the likes of Ricky Starks.
Yes.
Keith Lee.
Right.
You beat Carlito. You even wrestled Kiefer Bartek. MVP, MJF, man.
Yeah.
What's those experiences like, just being in the ring with those guys?
I mean, they are where they are because of a reason. Mm-hmm. You know, they all were special in their own ways, and it's great to see, man. Coming up in this game, you don't care. You know, everybody ain't your friends. Yeah. You know, but you ain't in this business to make friends with everybody. You're in here to make money and then live out a dream and try to do the best you can. But to see those guys on TV that was in the same locker room as you, and all those guys, man, those guys were struggling at one point. You know, working regular jobs, but struggling. And I knew them because I'm living the same struggle they did. So anybody who can make it out the struggle, hey, that's what we're here for, right? That's what to me, it's nothing but love, man. And I'll tell you what, man, Keith Lee was always a cool person to get in the ring with, because we just had so much. We have a very different style of wrestling, and he's just a big, strong, athletic. Yeah. Man, one time he gave me that spirit bomb in San Antonio, and I went up. Like, I hit the mat, and I went straight up, and I was going to land up. Like, I was going to tombstone myself. Oh. Like, I thought it, like, in the air at the moment, because I came up so high. I was like, all right, this is it. Like, this is my career. Last second.
Oh, wow.
That's how strong he is, man. And last second, he pulled, like, he cuffed.
Yeah.
Perfect time. And like, I was like, oh shit. And but safe worker. Yeah. That safety is such an important thing, because when people you can't get reckless with somebody else's body, because that's how they make their money, but that's also how they live, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but that was a crazy story. I don't know if people, and I wish I tried to find it on camera. I think there's camera, but it's like it was bad. It wasn't filmed with a good camera, good quality.
It's fan footage somewhere.
It was somewhere, but I remember, man, I was coming down like, all right, well, here we go. You have those moments a few times in your career.
So during your TV title reign, you've beaten the current, well, not the current, I take it back, the former now reality wrestling champion, Matt Vine.
Correct.
You also beat someone that I think that's hot right now too, Jacob Fatu.
Yes, I did.
How was it being in the ring with the physical Samoan?
Man, you hear all these things until you get a chance to get in the ring with him, and just a pro, but just they take to the business like water, man. They're just fluid, just smooth. He's strong. His athleticism is out of this world, and I love getting in the ring with someone who could, you know what I mean, with guys who have all those talents, and it's shown and people know it, because then it kind of tests you like, all right, what can we get in there and do? And Umaga was one of my favorites growing up. You know, you look at him and you've seen him, and I'm not saying like he is that, but I can understand that Samoan dynasty of just the fluidness, the smoothness, the athleticism. And Jacob's a cool guy, man. But it was a great experience, and I hope to get in the ring with him more times. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Another question I had for you: when you was at Row had this Impact versus Row show one time, and you were in the ring with Mr. Sammy Callahan, another guy I kind of respect in the business as far as like his work and everything like that. How was that, and how did that come about more so than anything?
Yeah, it was out of nowhere. There was like, yo guys, we're doing Impact versus Row. All right.
All right, I guess we're just gonna come up and we're gonna get ready for it.
That's just casual news. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. And yeah, man, Sammy is. I mean, he's a great talent, man. People look at him for what he is who he is. Great talent, great mind. Yeah. Good experience once again. It's just funny because that night could have been so different because regularly I believe it was Q and Sammy and me and Moose.
Oh.
So it got like nothing is set in stone. When it comes to TV, everything is so it switched out. But I like it. I'll go back and watch the match. It was cool. And it was a wild night, man. It was a wild night because it ended that way, and it was a cool experience to see guys on that caliber come down the road. You know, but in our eyes, we're just as good. We're on the same level, and we're ready to prove that any day of the week. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely. So I will get to a guy that you did mention a while ago, Mr. Max Heights.
It's my boy right
we've
there.
had him on the show, and everything. Well, Zello had him on Shots and Chops. But yeah, so how did that come about?
That's a nice shirt, man.
Oh, hey, man,
get that merch,
right
man.
Get the. I got mine autographed.
Y'all can get y'all autograph like
Ain't
that.
nobody got that really like that, man.
You know.
You know what? I got some extra shirts like that. Let's come up with something where y'all ask a question or do a trivia. Or I don't know if that's y'all style. Whatever y'all want to do. Whatever I want to do, we'll give out some tempo shirts. I got that. Yeah.
Cool.
Live right now. You heard that. I said it.
Yeah.
From me.
From the man.
That camera right there. Right there.
I knew that. I know cameras. I know. I wanted you to.
You do this.
I wanted to get the full effect, man. Nah, I'm messing with you.
Man.
Nah, you caught me off guard. That was right. But yeah, no, man. Me and Max are also close to. Kiefer's from Abilene. Max is from Colorado City. I'm from Loveland. They're all kind of very close. We didn't know each other until we moved. Me and Max, till we moved to San Antonio. Started going to the same school. So small world, right?
Yeah.
But I think we actually we were in the same building one time for a powerlifting meet because he did powerlifting and I did powerlifting. And I think it was like state qualifying powerlifting, and that meet we were both there. So it's crazy how you could be close to people in the same sport, same district, and then never know them, and then you come to wrestling school and y'all both had the same, you know what I mean, the same passion that led you right there. And be like, man, if I would have known you was a wrestling fan back then, I would have talked to you. But
You never know.
yeah, you can't just walk up to people asking them that. You know, that's a wild question. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't ready to admit to being a wrestling fan sometimes.
So man,
you know?
I want to ask you because I talked to Max like really in depth about this, and he had nothing but high praise for you. You know what I'm saying? As a man inside and outside the ring.
Even outside? No, I'm
I mean, yeah, that's your boy, so I already know, you know. But, you know what I'm saying, he spoke very highly of you and you guys' career as a tag team, man. Just speak about how that came about and the chemistry you guys had together.
Oh, well, maybe because we trained together, so we was like, all right, yeah, this is it, man. You more of the high flyer, I'm more of the ground game. Let's put it together and go from there. But Max is one of the best athletes. Just if you just see him in the ring, smooth, do stuff like I don't know how he does some of the moves that he do. I'm just like, what? Like, and it's just so easy. And we used to compete with drop kicks, like who will get higher on the drop kick. Yeah. I'm gonna get higher than you on this drop kick. I'm gonna get higher than you on this drop kick.
Drop kick.
Exactly. So it was always competitiveness, and then we just turned that to training, and then we both was very motivated, very hungry. And then so we said, all right, if we can always, you can always be a single wrestler. You can always kind of get a chance. But it's hard to get in as a single wrestler in some places because there's a million of them. You know, there's a lot of people who's single wrestlers who's already over. But if you a tag team, now you offer something different. So it's always kind of better to know more than one trade when it comes to wrestling. You don't want to just be a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? You want to know how to do every match, everything. So your opportunities are going to be more present, more available. So you just get way more opportunities if you know how to do different types of matches and different types. Because there's some people's like, I don't do tag teams. It's like, well, you. And to me, tag team wrestling is, when it's done correctly, it's probably, I think, one of the best form of wrestling out there. Yeah. When it's done correctly, man, because you got 4 people in there, you can do so much more because you have so much more talent in the ring. Yeah. You know, and then the ref, what you can do with the referee and the people, there's way more than engaged. So the attention is on 2 people, and that's great. I like singles matches too, but tag matches is just, you could do so much more with it.
So speaking of tag matches, I'm gonna jump into this.
I'm
gonna jump into it because this is the part I love.
Right there.
This is the part I love about the show.
Segue.
You and a Mr. JJ Blake were the new Texas Pro Tag Team Champions. Beat the 8th day, and then you lost the Tag Team Championship to the 8th day. And then the attack happened.
Yeah.
The switcheroo.
Yeah.
Man.
And so I have a clip of the backstage interview that you and Zello had. Marcus, man, if you could play that video for me.
I'm here with Terrale Tempo. Man, how do you feel about the loss today?
That loss? Yeah, you know what? I got beat. I got pinned, but I didn't lose that match. I was the only reason we was in that match to begin with. I was the only reason we was tag team champions.
Tempo was too heavy back there.
Nah, it ain't going down like that anymore. I don't lose. I'm Terrale Tempo. I need a change.
Who could it be?
Whoa.
Superstars, sports entertainment, damn.
An old friend, man.
We're looking jacked, though.
He wants to had the gun up.
With the gold right
Still 2 best match right now.
Any thoughts, Tempo?
there. Got the call. Time for a
Change.
right?
That's what it's all about.
All right, man. So, yeah, it's time for a change, a big change. I'm very intrigued about this next journey in Terrale Tempo's career because tomorrow he has an upcoming match with a guy,
The Wind Dragon.
the Wind Dragon,
Dustin Wind.
who he assaulted.
Yeah, we're going to say assaulted. Yeah.
Assaulted.
Assaulted is kind of a harsh word.
Wait a minute.
Play the tape. No, y'all ain't got that one, right?
Assaulted, I don't know.
No tape, no case. You know, no tape, no case.
So, I mean, yeah, you got the match tomorrow. Q Cemetery, remember everybody. Please come out to that, support a good cause. My brother, Mysterious Q, who had an injury recently, we're trying to get some funds together for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, so.
What's your question? Hit
We
me
just
with
wanna
the
hear you
question.
speak.
Yeah, we gotta
We
hear
just
it,
want to hear
man.
you speak, man,
Speaking
because after that, it was kind of open-ended
Yeah.
for the time for the change thing. So, like, what's your mindset now, man?
You know, man, it's just, I left. I went to California. I come back, and the people don't know. Y'all know who Tempo is.
Yeah, we could.
But everybody don't know who Tempo is. And I think that's a little bit disrespectful. And then they start cheering for JJ, who's caused damage to me, my career, my family, my livelihood. And so I'm always for the people, right? I'm for the greater good. I'm for the people. That's what Tempo is. Tempo for the people. Y'all been to a show where y'all see
been to the
Tempo
show.
for the people.
Yeah, true.
Come out there, the crowd go wild, I go wild. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But those same people now like JJ. So if we're talking about turning their backs or being hypocritical, who's hypocrite? Because if they like him after everything that he's done, but what I stood for and I didn't do, See, I don't like these people. man.
I ain't going against you, Temple.
I don't think I did anything wrong.
I would-
If anything, I think them cheering on someone like JJ Blake, I think they wrong. And so I can't be with people like that anymore. I don't give a damn about the people no more. It's all about tempo. now.
Okay.
So here's a little bit of insight. I always fact check stuff. JJ Blake, that statement is true because you and JJ had a match for a title at Raw, and he took that away from you. So it's always like he's taking away your opportunities.
Not just a match. Matches. It was a long history.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a long history of doing wrong. You know what I mean? And I fought by the rules. I was fair and square. And what did that get me? Now they cheer for your boy. Right? I'm done with the people now. That's what the change
I
is.
understand it, man. But
I understand it.
Q Simba to remember, man. You going against Dustin. What did Dustin do to you, though, man?
He's JJ's.
JJ's pet. Is
He's
you about to say
JJ's.
that?
I mean, you put the word. You said
Say what you want to say.
I mean, I was
got to
going.
see you want to say it.
I was. You know, we'll keep it PG.
Say what you want.
We'll keep it PG.
Oh.
My mama gonna be watching this later. My mama gonna be watching this later. Shout out to you, mama. So we'll keep it PG.
Shout out to Mama Tempo.
But yeah. You know, so sometimes you got to make people
I know where
people
you're going
suffer
with
by
this.
the ones who they love.
Yes, I know exactly where you was
You
going.
know what I'm
with
saying?
that. Yeah.
But I don't know why people think it just stops anywhere. You know, they used to love me. So now I'm going to show them everybody that you love.
Wow.
See if you keep that energy.
So this is just the first of many. It look like it sounds like it's first of many.
Hey, man, I ain't saying nothing.
You ain't saying nothing.
Accusations over there.
Accusations.
No, man, but all right. So I'm gonna get off that. Sound like this seems like a little touchy subject.
Okay.
I'm gonna get off that. We gonna hit my boy with the speed round. Speed round. So this is where we get to the certain part of the episode where I ask you a few questions and you just off the head gonna go from there. Favorite wrestler currently?
Randy Orton.
Favorite wrestler of all time?
Shawn Michaels.
Favorite female wrestler currently?
Rhea?
Okay.
I can't disagree with none of your picks, though. That's a good one.
Favorite female wrestler of all time?
Ooh, all time.
All time is a toughie.
Yeah, it might have to be Mickey James.
That's a
Hardcore country.
That's a first.
She's great at what she does.
Yeah.
Favorite tag team currently?
Favorite tag team currently. I've been out the loop a little bit. I shouldn't say that. Favorite tag team currently. You talking about
It could
every
be on the
promotion.
indie scene.
It
It
can
be on any scene.
It don't matter.
Put the good people on.
you know, maybe I turn a new leaf. 8th Day ain't that bad.
Oh,
Hey, you heard it here.
So that's a good. I'm glad you said that. Hold on, I'm gonna chill up, speed round real quick. They actually said maybe brother Terrale Tempo has seen the light with brother JJ Blake.
Have you read the pamphlet? Have you had faith in my brother?
I mean, when I say turn a new leaf, I don't need, I one thing I am
my
not.
brother. Oh, my brother. Have you seen the light?
Have you seen the
light?
No, I'll say this. I seen the reality. I seen the truth, but I don't follow anybody.
Okay.
Favorite tag team all time?
Man, that's a loaded question. That's a hard question. Favorite tag team of
Can't go wrong,
all
really.
time. All time. I'm going to go. It could switch because it's fluid. But I'll go Stephen A. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go LOD right now.
Legion of Doom. That's a new one. We can mark that on. Your favorite championship. If you can have any championship, any era, your favorite championship.
The big gold, baby.
Big gold.
Everybody want the big gold.
Everybody want the big.
The big gold.
The big gold and the wing eagle is right up there too. But you got it up there too. But yeah, those are both the top two.
Okay. Your favorite match to be in, if you were picking a match that you would want to be in that you've never done.
Yeah, I've never.
If you've done it, yeah.
This is gonna kind of sound. This is probably gonna sound a little crazy, but I just rather a good storytelling feud, just the main event match, 1-on-1.
Okay.
A little basic, but
no. You know, everybody got their likes and stuff like that. Yeah. I got one more, but I can't think of it. If you had any era, any time period, what's your dream match? Any wrestler?
ooh, man, any wrestler match.
Excuse me.
I would probably say, man, it had to be HBK, but I would take post back surgery, Shawn Michaels. So probably
That's like 97, 96.
no post. That's like
2000.
2005,
Yeah.
6.
Oh, post. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
About 2006. Not Ruthless Aggression era.
I know
Maybe
what you're
Ruthless
talking
Aggression
about.
era. Yeah. It's Ruthless Aggression era. Yeah.
Okay. So that's all for the speed round. I do want to touch on one other thing. Like I said, you've been in the ring with like Zillow said, you've been in the ring with like Sammy Guevara, all these wrestlers. Do you have any tidbits or take that you can give to other younger wrestlers and stars to get, their foot in the door, or not foot in the door, but just words of advice?
So the business has changed so much since I even got in it, right? Social media has changed, and I think it changed the business. I would say go to a good school. Learn your fundamentals. Your foundation is everything. Fundamentals and safety is first. Take pride in what you do. Understand why you're doing it. Every way that you can help yourself. Whether it's that's working on your looks, that's working on your footwork. You know what I mean? If that's sitting down and listening, getting under the learning tree of a lot of vets. But I would say those are the main things. And I would also say be open-minded, because right now guys aren't really just trying to go viral. And that's fine. But viral only lasts for so long. Understand the business and understand how to, what we call work. That would be my main thing. Stay focused, and then, but also too, don't be too close-minded. Learn how to do different styles. I'm not telling you don't do this, don't do that. Do what you do well. Just also think about your safety aspect. I'm big on safety and fundamentals.
Yeah, I would like to ask you, Tempo, like, what's your thoughts on, like, because we all know this is with every indie promotion, major league promotion, no matter where you go, your thoughts on politics. The way you carry yourself inside the ring, outside the ring, everybody has to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so what are your thoughts on politics and the way you carry yourself, to position to be top level in anybody promotion company or just on the indie scene or anywhere?
Yeah, it's politics is always going to happen, especially in a place where our business is entertainment first. So entertainment doesn't necessarily mean the best person wins, right? We see it all the time in music and in acting. If you got a big name in music, if you got one viral song, you don't got to be the best rapper, right?
Yeah.
But you could just be, so they're going to use you for this song because you got more views right now. You hot right now. You know what I mean? Doesn't necessarily mean you're the best lyricist out there.
Yes.
So anywhere with entertainment, it's always going to be politics. You can't really get too much involved in it. It's going to be around you. Understand what you're doing. Understand who you're working for. And then take it from there on what you want to do. But once again, I think if you really understand what you're doing this for, and you understand your character, you understand what's going on in the storyline, the angle, and if the promoter, if he's a good person or what he's trying to do with you, then you really shouldn't fall too much into it. Okay. But it's always going to be around. So
yeah.
I want to ask this before we get out of here. Cause we got to talk about it. I call it as a fan the make some noise elbow drop.
That's what it's called.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
On the money.
Let's dive into that. How did that come about?
Okay, so I was like, the elbow drop, every time I would do it, get a reaction, right? But I'm like, man, like I need to, there's a moment here. This is a little thing about TV, when you wrestle on TV. I kind of picked it up before TV, but TV really helped me hone it in. There's a moment there. If you always see me do it, I'll hit it, boom, turn around, and where am I facing? Hard camera. Because that's right there. So it's right there. So you want to say something that can get involved, but now your face is on hard camera, right? And that's a time where nothing's going on but your face. Money making, right?
Yeah.
So you do, and then I was like, man, I need to say something, but what can I say that's like not said? Or so at a time when I was in Inspire Pro Wrestling, we were part of this faction, me, Keith Lee, Roxy, and his name, the dude was Chris True, but he would say, what would he say? He would say, focus up. So I body slam and then I'll point to the manager and he'll be like, focus up, and then I'll hit the elbow. And I was like, okay, so there's definitely a moment here before I hit this elbow and it worked. Because now when you say something, people pay attention. Yeah. Now you don't just do an elbow. You just do an elbow. That's cool. Body slam, elbow, cool. Now you body slam, take a moment, make some noise. Now people are focused in. Why am I making noise for? Oh, here's why. Bam. And then you hit that elbow. But so I got to make some noise from if y'all want to party like we do, if y'all want to bump.
Okay.
I was like, what? And then I hear it on her, and I was like, yeah, you know me.
Yo.
Because he breaks it down so much and he goes, all the ladies in the house, if you this and you that, and you independent. And then when he say the man, he was like, make some noise.
I'm mad that's where it come from, though. That is the story.
Why are you mad where it's come from?
Because that's a story, and you wouldn't even think that that's where that came from.
Hey man, I gotta throw some hip hop. I gotta throw some hip hop history in there, man. Always respect the people that paved the way for you, and in any branch of entertainment that it is, it's always cool to bring it back to us a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So even with that, how do you because I'm glad you said that wrestling and hip hop have always kind of been relatable.
Wrestling and music, yeah.
Music in general.
Yeah. But I would say, here's the big thing I say about Stone Cold. People, they always like, oh, he was like in between. No, Stone Cold was a big baby face in the 90s. Hulk Hogan was a huge baby face in the 80s because that was the American guy, take your vitamin, straight-laced corporation type of time. Yeah. What was the 90s? The 90s was nothing but rebellion. Rebellion. So you had people you had rock and roll rebellion, but you had hip-hop. That's NWA. That's, Tupac. That's that era. Mike Tyson. You had nothing but rebellious people. So Stone Cold fit in the 90s. It's funny because in the 90s, a heel is a baby face, and the baby faces are the heels. Yeah. That's why you had Right to Censor. When the Right to Censor group would have been in the 80s, that would have been a good thing. But you put them in the 90s when feeling rebellious people, and that's a bad thing. So it's all tied into one in time. And so wrestling really takes off the time. Wrestling is pop culture. It's always has been.
I wanted to ask this right quick before we get out. You've been in the game for a long time and everything like that. Whenever that day does come and you want to hang up the boots, what do you want your legacy to be remembered as?
To the fans, man, to people who supported and fans wanted to say, man, every time I went and I paid my money, because I don't take that for granted, man. Hard-earned money. You work for that money. I've worked 2 jobs, minimum wage jobs, everything. I get that dollar that you make, that you go and decide to spend it on just to see me wrestle. I'm one of the people that you see me wrestle, and that you think, man, that was a hell of a match, hell of a show. I had a great time. I enjoyed it. I appreciate the athleticism, the craftsmanship. Just appreciative. I just want my legacy to be that you came, you bought a ticket, and you was satisfied with what you got.
Okay. Well, man, that's it for today. Thank you, Brother Terrale Tempo. Let's clap it up for our guest of the hour. And y'all already know what time it is, man. Don't watch me, watch Dynamite TV. I want to thank my brother, Mikey Manslaughter Facts, and the Smoke Hour himself, Mr. Zello Smoke, for joining us. Y'all know what time it is, Freebird Rules. Shout out to my boy, Corey Jarrett, the Beige Bomber, the Petty
Beige
Messiah,
Bomber.
the Belt Collector,
Yeah.
OG Slack, and Kung Fu
Eddie,
Eddie, baby. Y'all know what time it is, man. And y'all know when y'all down with the PWO, you're down for life. Let's get out of here.